Om Shanti. So, welcome all of you. And before we start, we'll spend a minute in silence and invoke the Supreme Being. So, welcome all of you once again to the Values for Life special events. As all of you are aware, in India, it's the festive season which has already started since the last month. And we celebrated the big festival of Raksha Bandhan last month. And now, going further on in our journey, it's the Janmashtami, which has happened last Monday. And actually, we wanted to put it right at that point of time. But since we have our Values for Life series alternating with the workshops, so it's a very tight schedule. So therefore, we thought we'll do it on this Saturday. And we are very, very fortunate that Sister Sheilu, a senior Raj Yoga teacher from Mount Abu, India, she just was a phone call away. And I just said, Didi, can you take it for us? She immediately said yes. So thank you so much, Sheilu Didi, for being a part of this. And before we start, Didi, we would first start with a small song on Janmashtami. And the participants will get some drishti from you. So the next 3-4 minutes, we'll play a small song for that. Anu, sister, over to you. Yeah.
Om Shanti, Sheilu Didi. We'll just start with actually a drishti. So then we will do the next continuing. So we'll put you on spotlight. Thank you.
In a world of heavenly beauty, in a world of happiness and joy, warm sunlight golden, calm nights are sweetened by the fragrance of jasmine. The sound of the peacocks in the mornings like melodious trumpets. The children of the sun rise to play with Sri Krishna. Krishna was the first prince of the land of divine kings, and he is coming back again. Sri Krishna is coming again. Will you play with Sri Krishna again? Sri Krishna is coming again. Will you be a Sri Krishna again? It's the time Shri Krishna. Oh, it's joy to the world. The cycle of time has spun completely, and Shri Krishna is coming back again. Shri Krishna is coming again. Will you play with Shri Krishna again? Shri Krishna is coming again. Will you be a Shri Krishna again? Shri Krishna is coming again. So will you play with Shri Krishna again?
With this very joyous, already filled in our heart, we want to welcome Sister Sheilu with definitely a lot of colorful flowers. For you,
Thank you.
Didi,
Thank you. Thank
from all
you.
of us. Welcome, welcome to our program.
So thank you so much, Anu sister. And it's always a privilege to introduce Sheilu Didi. Actually, many people know about her, but it's my duty to, because there are quite a few new people as well in the audience. So as all of you know that Sheilu Didi has been in the Brahma Kumaris since a long, long time. And she came into knowledge since the tender age of 12 years. And I must say that I have listened to Sheilu Didi as a small kid while I was in my 10th standard. And I remember it was the early 1990s, whereby she was one of the first speakers. She's one of those first visible face of Brahma Kumaris on the television. And I still remember early morning talks on the Z television, which was that time in India. It still is. And also Didi's all talks are now on all different channels in India. Just to name a few: Sony TV, Astha TV, Sanskar, many, many. And also now we have our own channels, Peace of Mind Television, and even the Awakening channel. Also, Didi is closely involved being the national coordinator of the education wing of Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation. And she has been instrumental in establishing many centers worldwide, particularly so in Indian cities of Bangalore, Mumbai, and also abroad like Africa and Mauritius. And as I always have started doing that, the introduction is incomplete without a small recitation of poem on Sheilu Didi. As all of you know that she has been blessed with what we call the blessing of Saraswati on her lips. So I'll start the poem that way. Having Saraswati Devi seated on her lips, she inspires all of us to immerse in the knowledge dips. She has indeed motivated many souls through her sweet divine voice and helped them move away from the worldly noise. I'm sure all of you, the beginners of Raj Yoga meditation, you have listened to Didi's meditation commentaries, and it's such a beautiful, soothing voice. It really makes you go into the bodiless stage in a second. Then, having listened to her soothing meditation commentary, we get a chance to go inside and do the inner work of inventory. So the meditation commentary helps us do the inner work of inventory. And lastly, she being the national coordinator of the education wing, Didi indeed encourages all of our inside bells to ring, which helps us to have a stable connection with God in just a ping. So being the coordinator of the education wing, she encourages our inside bells to ring, and which in turn helps us to have a stable connection with God in just a ping. So with this, I'll just, before I pass it on to Didi for the talk, a few housekeeping instructions. As all of you can see, the interpretation icon gives you all the languages. You can choose the one you want to hear in. And again, Didi will be speaking for say around 45 minutes till 9 p.m. India time. And then your questions can start coming to me the last 15 minutes of the talk. And then from 9 to 9:15 p.m. India time, we'll be taking question and answers, because there are many questions, Didi, about the role of Krishna. Is he really born? Why does he steal butter, makhan? So we'll take all those questions later. And with this, over to Sheilu Didi for the talk on spiritual significance of Janmashtami. Thank you.
Om Shanti. I'm very, very delighted to be speaking today to all of you on a very interesting topic, the spiritual significance of Janmashtami. Janmashtami means the birthday of Sri Krishna. We all know that India is a land of festival. There are 365 days in a year, but we can say that there are more than 366 festivals in India. And it's not an exaggeration, because every day is a festival, some or the other festival. But Sri Krishna Janmashtami is the most joyful festival of all, because it's the day they say that Sri Krishna was born. And there are many, many stories about Sri Krishna. But then let us understand really the spiritual significance of Sri Krishna Janmashtami. Of course, birthday is supposed to be a very, very happy, joyful day. And we can say happy birthday to Sri Krishna. We celebrated Janmashtami on 30th of August. And we can say that Janmashtami is actually reminding us of how Sri Krishna came 5,000 years ago, and he is going to come again. Sri Krishna is a very, very special soul. Even today, the devotees worship Sri Krishna. He is the first heavenly prince of golden age. And on 30th, as we all celebrated Janmashtami only last week, we saw that how at night, after midnight, Sri Krishna is born, as they say. Mothers, Kumaris, men, everybody, they spend the night in the temple, and they have a small cradle-like swing made for Sri Krishna, and baby Krishna sleeping on that, in that. And at midnight, they rock that cradle. Mothers also rock that cradle. Young sisters rock that cradle. Men rock that cradle. And they say that Sri Krishna is born. So Sri Krishna is shown as a baby, a child, just born. But then we say that a baby usually cries. But Sri Krishna never cried in his life. They always show him very, very happy. And mothers feel that they should get a child like Krishna. The Kumaris, the young sisters, they think that we should get a husband like Sri Krishna. So mothers want a son like Krishna, and young girls want a husband like Krishna, and probably men, youngsters, men would like a friend like Krishna or a brother like Krishna to play with, because he is considered to be very, very playful. And they show a flute with him all the time. And he's always playing that flute with such enchanting music that anyone who listens to the music on the flute gets enchanted and begins to dance. They show that the gopis also started dancing the moment they would hear the music coming from Sri Krishna. Even cows started dancing, all birds started dancing. So much enchantment, or we can say magic, there was in the music played by Sri Krishna with his flute. So, and also they have given so many names to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is called Madhusudan, means he is like honey, so sweet, so loving, so much loved by everyone. They say he was born in Mathura, but then how there was a big devil there, his uncle only, his mother's brother, and he heard a heavenly voice that the eighth child of your sister Devaki will be responsible for your death. He will be born to kill you. So he put his sister and her husband in a very big in a prison, and waited for the eighth child to be born so that he could kill him. And although seven children were born and he killed all of them, but then the eighth child was Sri Krishna. And it was magic at that moment, that how it was midnight, it was pitch dark, and everyone went to sleep. Even the guards of the prison went to sleep. It was raining heavily, and just to save Sri Krishna, otherwise Kans, the devil, his uncle, he would come and kill him. So his father, Devki's husband Vasudev, he took the baby Krishna in a basket and crossed Mathura, the Jamuna river of Mathura, and went to Gokul, and exchanged the boy with a girl of uh, who was just born to his friend, and he brought the girl back to the prison. And Kans came in the morning, and he said, and he saw the child. He wanted to kill the child, but then Vasudev told him, "This is a girl; it's not a boy." But Sri Krishna was very much safe in Gokul, which Kans did not know at all. And he said, "Never mind, whatever it is, girl or boy, I don't want this child to live." And he tried to kill the child. But then that girl, she just flew away, became an angel and flew away. And and she said from above that the one who is going to kill you is already born. And then Kans, how he got so all the children who were born that night or that day killed, but how Krishna was always safe. Nothing ever happened to him, however much Kans tried to kill him. So this is as the beginning of the story of Krishna. But then on the other hand, they show Sri Krishna born on a peepal leaf, coming out of the ocean with a flute in his hand, and sucking the thumb of his feet, showing him in a very, very happy posture and enjoying sitting on a peepal leaf. And there's this big ocean all around him, but he is the least bothered about that and is enjoying himself. So there are two stories about this. They say that Sri Krishna, how he came from the ocean on a peepal leaf after pralay or annihilation of the world. Everything was destroyed. and Sri Krishna came as the first leaf of the tree. Well, now we have to understand the spiritual significance of all this, because actually the divine acts which they show in the Bhagavad of Sri Krishna are actually the divine acts of God, Shiva, the Supreme Father, who comes at the end of Iron Age and the beginning of Golden Age, what we call as the confluence age, the confluence between the two kalpas, that is the end of one kalpa, that is the end of Kali Yuga, and the beginning of the next kalpa, that is Satyug. So it comes at the confluence age and gives spiritual knowledge to all souls through the medium of Brahma. And the mouth-born progeny, born through Brahma, they become the Brahmins. And how they then become deities. And Sri Krishna is the first divine being born in the golden age. And Sri Krishna's praise is unlimited. They say that he is all virtuous. That is, he had all virtues in him. There is not a single virtue which was lacking in him. So you can imagine how elevated that soul must have been, being all virtuous. Then he is called 16 celestial degrees complete, just as we have the 16 days for the moon to be complete. Similarly, we say 16 celestial degrees complete means the full light of the moon. So Sri Krishna's soul was complete and perfect, perfect in all virtues and complete in all celestial degrees. And then he was considered to be doubly non-violent and with complete disciplines in life, which means that he never really did anything wrong in his life. But then in the Bhagavad, there are many stories about Sri Krishna, how he was so naughty, how he used to steal butter, how he used to also steal, gopis, and many things. They show his magic too. They show the tricks he played. They show how he killed the devils, how he elevated the, they say Kubja, who was an old lady, very old, with a big hunch behind, and how he just touched her and she became a young woman. And there were some deities who were actually under an evil, evil spy, that is, they were given an evil, what should you say, uh, this evil spell, and how when Krishna has touched and they became trees, and Krishna just touched those trees and they change back into deities. So there are many stories. They show that Kans sent Putana, a female devil, to kill Krishna, and how he actually, a small baby, killed that Putana. So they show many devils coming to Krishna, but how Krishna killed them all. And they show his bravery in that way. But then we say, how can that all be possible? And he used to eat butter, steal butter. As a child, he used to eat mud. Then his mother asked him, "Did you eat mud?" He said no. But then she said, "Okay, open your mouth." And when he opened his mouth, there was uh, the big whole world inside that his mouth. So his mother was surprised. How is he like that? He's a small baby. But actually, Sri Krishna is the corporeal form of Vishnu. And Vishnu is actually, we say, the combined form of Lakshmi and Narayan. And Sri Krishna is the childhood form of Narayan. So they say that Radhe and Krishna were friends. And according to the Brahma Kumaris, we do believe that Radha and Krishna After their nuptials, their marriage, they became Lakshmi Narayan. So Sri Krishna was the first world prince. And when they say that he stole butter, actually butter here stands for essence. You know, we get butter when we take yogurt and we do a lot of churning, then we get butter. So butter means essence. So Sri Krishna gets the essence of the whole world. That is, he becomes the first prince of the golden age. And you may call him the first leaf of the new tree. But then who's the seed? The seed is actually the supreme being who comes at the end of the confluence age, end of Kali Yuga, at the beginning of golden age, the confluence age, and enters an old body whom he names Brahma. And we say it is the same soul of Krishna who in his first birth was called Krishna. And that same soul, when it passes through the whole cycle, in the 84th birth, it becomes Brahma. And Shiva, the Supreme Father, enters in his body and gives us spiritual knowledge. So actually, when we say butter, it has different meanings too. Butter means the essence of the whole world. And when God comes, he gives the essence of all the scriptures to us. All the Vedas, the Granth, the Upanishad, the Gita. God speaks the Gita. Actually, he speaks the Gita through the mouth of Brahma. But then how people have mixed it up and they have put Sri Krishna's name. Now, how can a small child give such a deep spiritual knowledge as it is mentioned in the Gita? Although they show him big, but then he is called the heavenly prince, prince of Vaikunt. And they say when he became older, he became the ruler of Dwarka. And then they say Dwarka sank under the sea. So there's so many stories about Sri Krishna. But actually, what is the truth? The truth is that Shiva, the Supreme Father, and Brahma, his chariot, his medium, and Brahma's soul, which becomes Sri Krishna in the next birth and golden age, the biography of all the three has been mixed up. And this is why all the divine acts which God Shiva did through the mouth of Brahma, they have put that on Sri Krishna. Now, Sri Krishna was a small baby, a small child. He could not really do anything of that sort. And he was a world prince. Why did he have to steal butter? You know, if somebody is born in a royal family, they are so rich. The child there doesn't have to steal anything. He gets everything in his hand. It's like golden spoon in mouth. So why did Sri Krishna have to steal? Actually, it's not stealing butter physically, but it is the butter of the whole world. What we are seeing today, the whole world today is in chaos. There is fighting going on everywhere, and we are all, like uh, seeing how the world is going from bad to worse and worse to worse, as we can see. And we are at the threshold of a very big war. It may be called the Third World War. It may be also called Mahabharat War. And this Mahabharat War will actually bring about a lot of bloodshed. And Supreme Shiva has told us that destruction of this iron age is inevitable. But after destruction of this iron age, it isn't that there will be annihilation, because annihilation of the world never happens. Soul, supreme soul, and matter, all the three are eternal. And therefore, the drama continues. But then we say that it's a cycle of 84 births and 5,000 years. So every 5,000 years, the cycle repeats. 5,000 years ago, Sri Krishna came And now again, after 5,000 years, we are saying that Krishna is going to come again. And he is bringing heaven on earth. So Mahabharat war, which is inevitable, will bring a great disaster, great destruction. But doesn't mean that there'll be total annihilation. Some will definitely remain, and they will be responsible for giving birth to deity souls. But then how did those souls become deities? It is at this time of the confluence stage when these souls take knowledge from Supreme Shiva through the medium of Brahma and purify their lives, have all connections with one Supreme Shiva, who is the Supreme Father, Teacher, Sadguru, beloved of all, who is remembered by all religions as the incorporeal Father. Why we say Shiva? Shiva means the benefactor. So Shiva means Almighty. Shiva means the truth. Shiva means the purifier. Shiva means peace. The word Shiva has so many meanings, and that stands for the highest on high, Supreme Father, whom even the prophet souls, the religious founders remember. So that one, that supreme being comes at this time, and he has come and is imparting us the essence of all the scriptures. So we say butter means the essence of all the scriptures. So spiritual knowledge is the essence of all the scriptures, even the Gita. So a big mistake has happened by changing the name in the Gita from Shiva to Krishna, and they think that Krishna gave the knowledge of the Gita. Actually, Gita is like the mother, and Shiva is the father, and Krishna is the child of Gita mother. Because through Gita, Shiva created the new world, the golden age, and Sri Krishna was the first prince of that golden age, the first leaf of the new tree. So we say that because of this huge blunder, this big mistake, we say Bharat today is no longer considered the greatest pilgrimage of all the places, because actually Bharat is the place where God comes, where God descends and brings golden age on earth. But today, because the name of the sermonizer of the Gita has been changed, this is why Bharat is not considered that elevated as it should be considered as. So we can say that three biographies have been mixed up. In Golden Age, in Satyug, was Sri Krishna is a heavenly prince, and they say that he used to play with the gopis and gopis. He stole the clothes of the gopis. Now, how can Sri Krishna, a deity who's Maryada Purushottam, so elevated, so pious, so holy, so pure, how can he steal clothes of women like that? Actually, that also has a very big spiritual significance. That stealing clothes, which means taking away body consciousness, because this body is considered to be like a costume, and the soul enters this body like it wears a costume of the body. This world is a stage, we say, and we are all actors playing our respective roles. So we say that how the body is like a costume, and we souls relinquish one body and take another. That is, change our costume. And we say the cycle, the soul comes in the cycle of birth and death. But the soul never dies. So we can say that it's not stealing clothes, but it is God is telling us to renounce body consciousness and become soul conscious. That is, become aware that you are a spiritual being in this physical body. Today, people think that they are physical bodies having a spiritual soul in the body. But actually, we are all souls. We're all spiritual beings in this physical body. So when I'm aware of myself, as a spiritual being, a spiritual soul, an eternal, immortal, imperishable, indivisible, invisible soul in this physical body, then we can become soul conscious. And when we are soul conscious, we can also then become God conscious. Because when I say Shiva, Shiva means a light, a point of divine light. And just as a soul is a point of divine light, that supreme being is also a point of divine light. But he's a supreme, supreme in all qualities. And the soul of Sri Krishna takes these qualities from the supreme. But the praise of Shiva is different. Shiva's praise is the ocean of knowledge, ocean of peace, ocean of love, ocean of happiness, ocean of bliss, almighty authority. And the praise of Sri Krishna is all virtuous, he is 16 celestial degrees complete, full of disciplines, maryadas, and totally non-violent. And we can say that very playful, very joyful, very happy, and leading a best life anyone could lead. He was in the worldly world, heavenly world, and in that heavenly world, everything was available. There was nothing which was lacking in the coffers of the deities. So Sri Krishna was the first world prince, and how he then becomes Sri Narayan. And when we celebrate Sri Krishna Janmashtami, we always remember that I am going to be like Sri Krishna. I am going to go into his world. But how will I play with Krishna? Today I just worship him, but I can't go to his world because Sri Krishna is coming again. We show his pictures that how he's kicking the world of hell and bringing heaven on his palm. That is, he is coming soon because this world will very soon be transformed from hell into heaven. Heaven is not somewhere above, or hell is not somewhere below, but heaven and hell both exist on this earth, but at different times. Just like day and night don't exist together. Day is at a different time, it is AM, and then night comes, then it is PM. So we say heaven and hell don't exist together, nor is heaven up, up somewhere, or hell down somewhere. But the golden age is called heaven, where all deities live. We speak about 330 million, 33 crore deities. So they were actually the population of the golden and the silver age. Today we have 6 to 7, more than 7 billion population of the world. But it was just 5,000 years ago that the population of this world was hardly 900,000. And then how in 2,500 years it came to about 330 million. But then after that it has become billions and billions and billions that we are seeing today. But all these billions will not be there in golden age. Destruction has to come. And then we all will return to the soul world. Even Sri Krishna's soul, who is now actually perfect in the subtle regions. We say Brahma becomes Sri Krishna, but before that, he is now in the angelic region, the subtle world, waiting for us to become perfect so that we can all go together with Shiva the Supreme back to the soul world. And then from the soul world, we will come down as deities in the golden age. So if we really want to play with Krishna, dance with Krishna, sing with Krishna, then we will have to become like Krishna. We have to become 16 celestial degrees pure. We have to become all virtuous. We have to become completely viceless like Sri Krishna. Only then we can go into his kingdom. So only if we become like him, then we can play with him in golden age. Because otherwise, nobody can play with a prince like that. Only princes and princesses can play with a prince. So Sri Krishna was the first golden aged prince, and therefore only princes and princesses could play with him. So if we really want to play with Sri Krishna, want to be in his world, then we have to become like him. And for that, Shiv Baba, the Supreme Father, is saying through the medium of Brahma, "Oh, my dear children, now remember me. Remember me, because at this time, we souls have on our head so much sin. It's like a big bundle of sins on our head. That is why there is so much of sorrow in today's world, because we have become like sinful souls, sinners. We have committed so many sins in our life. Any action committed under the influence of vices, lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego, jealousy, all that, we that turns into a sinful act. And these sinful acts then make us unhappy in life. So we are actually carrying the burden of so many sinful actions, but we have to finish them all if we really want to play with Sri Krishna or go in Sri Krishna's world. So how can we finish them all? By remembering that Supreme Father. Shiva the Supreme says, if you remember me, then I will absolve you from all your sins, and you will come back to me in the soul world with me. So if we really wish to go back with Shiva to the supreme world, and then from there come to the Satyu golden aged world of Sri Krishna, then we have to purify ourselves. We have to become pure. We have to remember the Supreme. We have to finish all our sins and not commit any more sins. We have to become soul conscious. We have to become true good yogis. Only then we can become pure souls and return to the soul world. So Sri Krishna Janmashtami invites us to become like Sri Krishna. And for that, it encourages us that if you want to come to Sri Krishna's world, then you have to become holy and yogi. So Janmashtami is a reminder to us that, O souls, Shiva, the Supreme Father says, become holy, become yogis, and remember me, have all relationships with me. And therefore, only when you remember me, you purify yourselves, you can come back to me, and I will send you to Sri Krishna's world of golden age. So this is the message we all can experience from Sri Krishna Janmashtami. And Shiv Baba is telling us that it will not be long when Sri Krishna will be back again in this world, but it will be in golden age, where there will be complete perfection, 100% purity, peace, prosperity, happiness in everyone's life. And we will all become deities in golden age. So I should first of all congratulate you that you are now being inspired to, to lead a holy and yogi life, so that in this very birth you accumulate so many pure actions and finish all the past sinful actions and carry these pure actions with you, which will then enable you to come in the so golden aged world and play with Sri Krishna in that heavenly world of Sri Krishna. So thank you very much. This is what I really have to say, especially as the spiritual significance of Janmashtami. Thank you. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Didi. You actually have 15 more minutes, so I'll just ask you to elucidate a bit on Krishna comes in the golden age. So many people have questions about what is this golden age? How is it different from Iron Age? What is actually golden age? If you can explain us in 10 minutes what it is.
Actually, golden age is the first age of the cycle. And we say that the cycle is of 5,000 years, in which there are 4 ages: the golden age, the silver age, Copper Age, Iron Age. These 4 ages can be compared to the 4 seasons in a year. We have the spring season, we have the summer season, we have the autumn season, and then we have the winter season. So, how these seasons keep changing. And after winter, spring has to come again. So we can say that the Iron Age is like winter. Everything is no leaves on the trees. It is all so dry, so cold, so windy, and really not very joyful indeed. But then spring means joy, happiness, plenitude. It means greenery. A big contrast between winter and spring. So this is the big contrast between Iron Age and Golden Age. Because there's never total annihilation of the world. This world always remains. The 5 elements are eternal. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, all are eternal. So we call this as the eternal drama. And in this drama, we souls are the actors who take up this body which is made up of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and play our respective roles on the drama stage. As Shakespeare very rightly said, this world is a stage and we are all actors playing our respective roles. The soul is the actor and the body is the costume which actors have to wear in order to play their respective roles. So Krishna was the first prince of that golden aged world. But how did he claim that status? If you receive any fruit, it's definitely you have sown a seed. You must have sown a seed and therefore you receive the fruit. So what karma did the soul of Sri Krishna do that made him become Sri Krishna in golden age? Actually, the karma which he did was he took the knowledge from the Supreme Father, made his life pure, holy, yogi, and gave happiness to all souls with the help of knowledge and yoga, and thereby attained perfection. The soul attained perfection and then became the first prince of golden age. So the soul of Sri Krishna did many righteous actions in his past life at the end of Iron Age. And we say now is that period, the end of Iron Age and the beginning of Golden Age, when a big transformation is happening. Actually, otherwise, transition took place. From Golden Age, it became Silver Age. A small transition from 16 celestial degrees pure, we came down to 14 degrees celestial, then to 12 degrees, then to 8 degrees, like that, like the degrees of the moon. On the full moon night, it is 16 celestial degrees complete. Then gradually, how the light diminishes and also the full moon shrinks and then becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And then on Amavasya day, the day when there's no moon, is totally black, totally dark. So we are saying now that the light of the soul has finished completely and everything like has become so dark. So Kali Yuga or Irony means the dark night, the winter, total extremism of sorrow and suffering. And then the golden age will be the other opposite side. The new dawn will appear. But before that, in between is a confluence, just like confluence between the river and the ocean or between two rivers. There's always a confluence. And in India, this confluence is, has remembered a great deal. So this is a confluence of ages, Iron Age and Golden Age. So this sorrow and suffering cannot remain for long. So after night, the day has to come. So after sorrow, suffering, and chaos, and so much of unhappiness in this world, the new world of happiness will surely come. But for that, we have to perform elevated actions. And Sri Krishna's soul did perform those elevated actions and thereby became the first prince of golden age. So if we have to go to that world, we also have to perform those elevated actions, pious actions, and finish all our sinful actions, become pure and holy, and then we can go to Sri Krishna's world. And we say that Sri Krishna is coming again, because the cycle will repeat. Like after night, the day will repeat. After winter, the spring will come again. It's not that winter will remain forever or night will remain forever. So too, this iron age will not remain forever. This sorrow, suffering will not remain forever. It will pave the way for a new beginning, a new age, and that age will be the golden age. So we are all making effort for going to that golden age. And for that, Shiv Baba says, now remember me, and keep all your relations with me. Do not remember this old world, because this old world is going to perish. So something which is going to perish, something which is going to be destroyed, we should not remember that. So too, we should not remember this old world anymore. We should not have attachment to any people or belongings of this old world, because it is not going to stay long. But now our love should be for the new world. Just like, if you're in an old house and you're getting a new house built, so all your attention will be drawn to the new house. You will not remember the old house. So what I should do the new house, how should I furnish that new house? You'll be thinking of that new house only, and because the old house is going to be demolished. So too Shiv Baba says, now very soon it will be the end of this iron age. We have to now stay as trustees of whatever we have, consider it to belong to Shiv Baba, the Supreme Father, and consider everything to belong to Him. Use everything, but in a trusteeship way, that nothing belongs to me. Then we will not have any attachment towards it. But our attention will go only to the golden aged world where we have to go. Then only we can elevate our lives, become pure, and return to that supreme abode with the Father, and then come back in the golden age. This is what I was wanting to say about golden age, and now end of iron age, the confluence age. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Didi. Another question is, the sister is a bit confused. She's saying, I'm a bit confused. Can you explain me? I'll read out the question as she's written. That she says, as I understand, the BK philosophy is that there are no gods. So how come we are celebrating Janmashtami and Shivratri? I'm confused.
No, because we say God is only one. When we speak about Sri Krishna Janmashtami, he's called a deity. So deities are many. We talk about 330 million deities, 33 crore deities. So deities are so many, but God is only one. And we say that these deities can be called gods and goddesses. Why not? It's not that they cannot be called gods and goddesses, because they are next to God. They have all the virtues of God in them. But Supreme God, capital God, is only one. There's no S after God, capital God. But small God, you can put gods and goddesses, because that's what we human souls become, gods and goddesses. So every human souls can become deities. So deities are pure souls who have had connection with the Supreme Soul and got all the virtues from the Supreme Soul and became all virtuous. And Sri Krishna is the first deity soul of that pure golden aged world. So gods and goddesses are so many, but capital God is only one, and that is Shiva. Shiva, the Supreme Father, Supreme Teacher, Supreme Sadguru. So these deities became deities by remembering Shiva in their past life. So this is what we say about God is one, but deities are many. So, and we can become deities. It's not that they were different from us. We were deities, but then how we lost all our virtues, and we say today we are humans. But humans actually have divinity in them. And when we imbibe that divinity again, we then become deities once again. This is what we mean by imbibing divinity, imbibing purity, imbibing peace, which is actually the religion of the soul. We souls are actually not only imbibing, but we are that, but we have forgotten it. So God comes and reminds us, so that remembrance, that consciousness once again makes us become elevated and we become deities. I hope it's clear what, according to the question. Yes, brother?
Yeah, sure, Didi, it's clear. Okay, quite a few questions about the routine Brahma Kumari disciplines which we have. The first question a sister is asking that when they go to the spiritual class in the morning, it is said Murli, I mean flute. So they were a bit confused that do we really go and listen to the flute music what Krishna used to play? Why is it called Murli?
Yeah, very good question. Actually, they show that Krishna used to play the flute and he would enchant the gopis and gopis and the animals and birds, everything. But actually, it's not that, it's that music which is the enchanting music. Music is music, like anybody playing a flute. But then this is the magic flute of knowledge. And we call this magic flute of knowledge because the knowledge which God Shiva gives through the medium of Brahma, that is like music. You know, the word Gita also comes from the word Geet, and Geet means song. So it is a song or knowledge or the music of knowledge. So God's knowledge is like music for the soul. That is, it is so appealing, so soothing for the soul that we all experience super sensual joy through the Murli. So Murli means knowledge. So every morning, what we hear is our godly versions which Shiv Baba spoke to the medium of Brahma. And we call that Murli means the godly versions, the knowledge which gives us the knowledge of the self, knowledge of the supreme, knowledge of the three worlds, knowledge of the past, present, future of this world cycle, knowledge of our home, knowledge of so many spiritual matters which we are totally ignorant of today. So when we get this spiritual knowledge, we are able to open our third eye. Our third eye of knowledge opens and we get enlightened. So the Murli actually means the flute of knowledge. Knowledge is like music for us, and we experience super sensual joys through it. But then but the symbolic form of that is shown to Sri Krishna, that he used to play the flute. So as I mentioned, Shiva, Brahma, and Krishna, all the biographies of the three have been mixed up. So, of course, Sri Krishna used to play the flute in Golden Age. He loved music because everyone there loves music, and Sri Krishna is not different from them. But it's not that it's not the flute which enchants the souls. This is just good for the ears. But the real flute is of knowledge, which God speaks through the mouth of Brahma, and we call that flute of knowledge, the magic Murli of knowledge. We hear every day in the centers, and for that we come running to the centers. And when we listen to that Murli, we not only become peaceful within, but then we become so powerful also. Thereby, we are able to transform ourselves and become like deities. Understand?
Fantastic. Thank you. The next question is just a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. The traffic control went on. Yeah. So the next question is about another BK discipline. They said that the BK sisters and brothers, they are very much attracted. The people, one question is that they are attracted by the batches which you all wear. So they have seen this difference that the sisters wear something about Lakshmi Narayan, as you are showing, Didi, and the brothers wear about, they wear something about Sri Krishna, and the childhood form of Sri Krishna is shown. So what is this difference and what is the significance of the badge which you all wear in Brahma Kumaris?
So this badge which I have put on is called teacher's badge. So when we become teachers, we start living in centers, then we get this badge of Lakshmi Narayan. And brothers get the Krishna badge because brothers means showing that they are like Krishna. And then for sisters, Lakshmi Narayan means this is our aim and object, that Nar or human man can become Narayan and a woman can become Lakshmi. So Lakshmi Narayan is our aim and objective. We have to become that, and the combined form of of Lakshmi Narayan is Vishnu. So Brahma becomes Vishnu. We say we Brahmins then become golden aged deities, Lakshmi and Narayan. And Lakshmi Narayan are the first emperor and empress of the golden age. And the childhood form of Sri Narayan is Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna and Sri Radhe, they get married and then they become Lakshmi and Narayan, the first emperor and empress of the golden aged world. That is why this picture of Lakshmi Narayan. And for brothers is Sri Krishna. Each one will think that I have to become like Sri Krishna, pure like Sri Krishna, all virtuous, full of disciplines, maryadas, like Sri Krishna. So it's the teacher's badge. And sisters are the teachers there who teach knowledge. Brothers are helpers, but then the main administration teaching is by sisters. That's why it's called Brahma Kumari Ishwariya Vishwavidyalaya. Although we have brothers also, but the teachers are the sisters, and they are also administering the center. That is why Brahma Kumari. So we get this teacher's badge that now I have the right to teach because I have understood the knowledge. Understand?
Okay. Yeah, and the brothers wear the Krishna badge, so they can't teach that way.
No, they can also teach, but then we have to differentiate, no, between sisters and brothers, because then sisters have a different role to play. We and brothers have a different role to play. They are brothers are like skilled brothers. You know, there are many skills, and they are the helping hands of the sisters. But the teaching side is mainly given to the sisters because uh, we say Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. So Shiva, the Supreme Father, put the sisters in the front for teaching knowledge, for giving knowledge to everyone. The brothers also give, but then we say, okay, brothers, help us and bring the souls to us, and then we will impart knowledge to them. The brothers also impart knowledge to them and bring them to the sisters. So the sisters finally make them realize, give experience to them. So that's the work of the sisters. So brothers have their own role to play, sisters have their own role to play.
Right, wonderful. Thank you for clarifying. Then there's another confusion again. Actually, as you mentioned about two things, that he doesn't steal butter, and also he doesn't steal the clothes of the gopis. So there's another myth is that he's got 108 queens. Is that true? In Satyug, is it only Lakshmi who is his wife, or there are 108 queens he's got totally?
Actually, again, that's a very big myth, definitely. How can little Krishna have so many wives? He was actually a Kumar, he was not even married. But then when he was married, he became Sri Narayan. So no more Krishna, no more Kumar. But then 108 here, it stands, we say that at the confluence age, God imparts knowledge to us, and those who become perfect in this knowledge, they and pass with honor in this knowledge, they are only 108. So we can say that Sri Krishna had 108 wives, in the sense that we become the, we pass with honors and get a scholarship. So we are very close to Sri Krishna in the golden age. So those souls who pass with honors, they stay close to Krishna. That is why they show 108 wives of Krishna. But it's not wives of Krishna. They say that he stole them and made them his wife. But stealing means how souls today are under the grip of the vices. The devils are the vices, and God protects us. He takes us away from these devils, the vices, and tells us, now remember me. I'm your father, teacher, preceptor, Sadguru, guide, beloved. Think me to be everything. This is what Shiv Baba tells us. So as we have all relations with one Shiv Baba, they have mixed up that with Krishna, that he had 108 wives. Sri
Great.
Krishna didn't have any wives. He was a Kumar. It's
Okay.
only after marriage he became Sri Narayan. So he was no more Krishna, he was Narayan.
Okay, great. Another question is in the chat box, a very interesting question, that none other spiritual organization tells us about destruction. Brahma Kumaris are very famous for mentioning the word destruction, destruction. And now the brother is saying that we are looking at COVID and we are really very scared and it looks like destruction is very close by. So can you please ask Didi to tell us the exact date of destruction, because you all always speak about the same.
Actually, Shiv Baba has never given us a date of destruction. Baba says destruction can happen even now, but then we are not ready, that's the problem. If we become ready, destruction is not far away. All preparations for destruction are already there. It's not that they are not there. Even now, if America or Russia, they just press the button, destruction can start. And not just once, but for many times over, the world could be destroyed. So it's not a big thing, destruction. But Shiv Baba said, you have to be ready for the golden age. Just like if you are living in an old house and the new house is coming up, is under construction, you won't destroy the old house, will you? Because where will you stay if you destroy the old house? You have to wait till the new house is ready. And once the new house is ready, then you shift to that new house and then demolish the old house. So too, Shiv Baba is saying you have to be ready first. We have to purify ourselves. We have to finish all our sinful actions. We have to get the scholarship, as Baba mentioned, and we come in that rosary of 108 or the rosary of the victorious souls. So when we become perfect, ready, then destruction will happen any moment. So Shiva Baba says it can start even now. The world can be destroyed even now, but then it won't happen so easily, so quickly, because we are not ready yet. So if you become ready, then destruction is not far away. So it is in our hands when we want destruction to happen.
Okay, great. We have many questions about. There is a lot of clash between what is being taught in Brahma Kumaris and what is known in the path of devotion. So I'll take 2, 3 questions in one because it is all similar. So it is said that in the scriptures, it is said that Krishna comes in the copper age. And here you all say that Krishna comes in the golden age. So that is one. And related to that is that if Krishna comes in the golden age, then how come Sudama is shown as a poor man and Sudama was the friend? And second, also, how does Kans and Putna come in Satyug? So it's a lot of confusion. So can you clarify this confusion for us?
Yeah, actually, as I mentioned about Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba and Sri Krishna's biography getting mixed up. So God comes at the confluence age. But then if Sri Krishna would come at the confluence age of silver and copper age, or sorry, end of copper age, if he would come at that time. But after copper age, iron age is to come. So what will Sri Krishna come and do? Or they say that he is an incarnation of God and he comes to destroy evil. But then after that, evil is even more in iron age. So if God comes at the end of copper age to destroy evil, but then there's more evil in iron age, then where's the question that how will we say that he destroyed evil? Actually, he has to come at the end of iron age. Only then bring in golden age for evil to be destroyed or good. So it is Shiv Baba who comes in the body of Sri Krishna's past life, body of Brahma Baba, and enters in his body and gives knowledge and thereby establishes Satyug. Copper age is not the time when God comes, nor will he finish all evil at that time, because more evil is to come in iron age. So end of iron age is the period, just like the sun won't rise in the evening. It is time for the set. But only in the morning, that is after the night is over, the sun will rise and bring a new morning. So it will rise at its own time. So God's descent on this earth is at the end of Iron Age, not at the end of Copper Age. That is an important factor. And God comes only once in the cycle, not in every age. Because after every age, there's a downfall. So he will not come when there's going to be a downfall. He will come only when there's going to be a rise. And that's only at the end of Iron Age. And in Golden Age, there's nothing like Putana or Kans or anything of that sort. All this is Iron Age. Putana, Kans, they are all called devils. So these devils means the vices, and they are all at the end of Kali Yuga. So God destroys all these devils, these vices, and establishes Golden Age. So Sri Krishna does not kill the devils as they show. He killed Putana, he killed Kans, but in his last birth, that Krishna's soul kills all the vices. They are the devils, and then becomes Krishna. So again, a big confusion between Shiv Baba, Brahma Baba, and Krishna. So that's why, because of this confusion, people really don't understand who God is, who Krishna is, who Brahma is, and how God created the new world and so on. So
And
now God has
yeah,
cleared everything for us.
yeah, thank you. And so how do we figure out Sudama in this? Who is Sudama? Is he a
Actually,
poor man?
Sudama is also at this time of the confluence age, because many souls come to the centers. They are quite poor. They're not rich. So even if they are poor, it doesn't mean that they cannot become rich. But we say that at this time, if you help even with one penny, you can get a palace in Golden Age. Because we say that those souls who come, they help physically, means with the body, with the mind, with the wealth. So if somebody earns only maybe 100 rupees and he gives just 1 rupee in this organization, another comes and he earns 1,000 and he gives 10 rupees, and one comes, he earns 10,000 and he gives 100 rupees. But then 1 rupee, 10 rupees, 100 rupees, the return of that will be the same, because that one is poor and that one little better. The third one is still better, but the return will be the same. So Sudama giving a handful of rice to Krishna is not of Golden Age. In Golden Age, nobody is poor. But it's at this time we give to Shiv Baba in whatever way we can help to you know monetary help or physical help or any type of help for establishing the golden age of the world. And the more we help, the more high our status becomes in the golden age. So that the story of Sudama and Krishna is now when we become God's children and we help Shiv Baba in his task of establishment of the golden age. And in golden age, we become like Krishna living in a palace. Like they show that Sudama gave just a handful of rice and he got a palace. So the real meaning of this is, if we give little bit also in the contribution in God's task, we get a high status in the golden age. So that's for the future. Not immediately I give a handful of rice and I get a palace physically like that. It's not like that.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's something symbolic. Sudama, Kans, Putna. So I'm sure the sister is aware of these now. And I'll take the last question in the interest of time. A very deep question. It says that does the golden age begin when Lakshmi and Narayan start ruling? So if so, then wouldn't both Radhe and Krishna be born to semi-pure confluence-aged parents? Should I repeat? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They means those souls who give birth to Radhe and Krishna, they are true yogi souls. They are true yogi souls, and through the yoga power, they give birth to Radha and Krishna, the deity souls. But then we say again that they are the souls of the advanced party who have been very high yogis and they have left their bodies and now they will give birth to Sri Krishna and Sri Radhe. So we can say that they are yogi souls. That's the word we will use for them. And through yoga power, they give birth. In golden age, of course, all births are through yoga power. But then these souls who give birth to Radha and Krishna, they are from the confluence age, and then they start the golden age.
And so, Didi, quickly, is Krishna born?
No, not yet, not yet, not yet. Because Brahma's soul is going to become Sri Krishna's soul. And therefore, Brahma Baba, still in the subtle region, he has to return to the soul world and then give birth to Krishna and then be born as Krishna. So he's still there in the subtle region, waiting for us to become complete so that we can go together, the soul world.
Great.
So
Thank you,
that's the
Didi.
bond.
Thank you for taking so patiently all our questions, which may sound sometimes very kiddish, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, very interesting question, no doubt.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. And now I would request Dr. Ashok Mehta, who is with us also, and also after him, Sister Claudia, to propose the vote of thanks. And also, you all can ask your questions if you have something in doubt as well. So, over to Dr. Mehta first.
Om Shanti, Dr. Sam. Kaise ho? How are you?
Om Shanti Behan.
Yes, yes. Meeting you after a long time.
Yeah, I've not been to Madhuban for last 18 months. So obviously we have been missing each other. Though we have been seeing you every day.
Okay.
You are omnipresent now. Well, Sheilu, I think to say the least, this was like a freshness of a morning air and very inspiring. It had also the warmth of a sun, which enters everybody's heart. So I think Janmashtami and the golden age, we have all been waiting that when it's going to be there. But I think Baba has been explaining to us all along that you have to be first perfect before the golden age comes. So, Sheilu, thank you very much. I still recollect my first class when I came in 1989 was taken by you in the Angan of Madhuban. So I still recollect those lovely days when everything was so new to us. And I think it still remains same beautiful and inspiring. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So, Sister Claudia, you can also propose. Yeah.
Hello, Claudia. Om Shanti. No sound, no sound.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
It's so nice to have you again. We have you this is very lucky for Vancouver, but lucky for everyone too, to have you speaking about Janmashtami. So we had you before about Raksha Bandhan. Now we have the fortune to have you for Janmashtami. So I always remember when you were here visiting us in Vancouver, I used to talk with you, ask so many questions about when still like after Krishna is born, how long is going to be until his coronation. So that time between his born and his coronation, would we call that time confluence, still part of the confluence age, like a little bit more time for the confluence age?
Yeah, because actually what happens is that the calendar begins when Lakshmi Narayan start ruling. So whenever an emperor comes, a king comes, his own calendar starts. So his own coins start, everything starts. So it's that time we can say that it's a new calendar. The calendar of Vikarma Jeet Baba says, the conquerors of sins. No, so that is a new calendar. But then when we say Satyug, it is Sri Krishna when he's born. So that's the beginning. And the calendar begins when Lakshmi and Narayan come on the scene. 111. So we can part of it is the morning, but then it's not yet day, like that.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Morning,
great.
dawn. Yeah, yeah. But
Wow.
still, it is not completely day, no?
Mm.
Complete day means when Lakshmi Narayan comes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us. Lots of love. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Dr. Mehta and Sister Claudia, and also Sister Sheilu. Thank you so much for always being there. I'll quickly make the announcements for the upcoming talks which we have, and then we'll go in the meditation session with you, Didi. So for all the participants, as you all know, we go ahead with our regular series. The next talk would be, as we patiently saw how Didi answered questions. So tomorrow we have with us another brother who is a very senior brother, the director of Brahma Kumaris from Australia, Brother Charlie. Another embodiment of patience. So we are taking this value tomorrow. It's Sunday and it's morning time for India. Make sure you all join the Indian time as well. And the other times are mentioned. So Vancouver, it will be evening. So just after 12 hours, brace yourself and please attend it. Very sweet brother. He'll be mentioning all about patience. And just to let you all know that I'll just go back one slide again. We started this since last time with Brother Eric. So it's all the brothers now coming in succession. So it was Brother Eric who started on purity. Then patience is Brother Charlie. And then we have with us a very senior brother who is the principal spokesperson, Brother Brijmohan Bhai. He will be speaking on success, which is the next one. Just to let you all know this information, I know it's still a long time away. And you can feel free to contact us on our emails or websites. It's in front of you. So without much ado, now I'll just stop sharing and I'll pass it on to Didi for the closing meditation. She always does, yeah.
Manoj Bhai?
Yeah.
Just to call attention to the people from the West Coast, it's not going to be Sunday, it's going to be Saturday, like today in the evening.
Yeah. So it's 12 hours, yeah. Yeah. So just to rectify, I mean, hope you all understood what Claudia's sister said. So just 12 hours from now, it will be evening time for you on the west coast of US and Canada. So make sure you join for the talk. Yeah, thank you. So Didi will play some soft music in the background for the meditation as well. That's okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, okay. So thank you so much, Didi, once again. And Anu sister, over to you for the last closing things, if you have anything. Yeah.
I think that was really beautiful. Thank you so much, Sheilu Didi. It is so amazing. Like Sister Claudia said, we feel you are here with us in person, and
No,
I'm
that's
sure
an
we all will be.
When I see Anuben and her husband, I remember Baba said the other day that many scientists will come to you. And that moment I remembered Anuben and her husband. They're scientists too, no? So how Baba had scientists in knowledge. There's so many, and Anuben and her husband, lucky husband, they are an example for us. How you will be able to really bring golden age, scientists. So I was just remembering Anuben.
So humbling. Thank you so much, Sheilu Didi. Yeah, Baba says that, but we all have that. So it's so beautifully you have explained, and we are all waking up to Baba's knowledge. So
Kashi Bhai, sorry, I've just spotlighted. If I don't know, he's there on the. I have spotlighted him, but we can't see him. Anyway, that's fine.
that's okay.
Drama, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Didi. Om Shanti.
Okay.